Alrighty, howdy everybody. This is Grand 10 Projects here with a month and a half, 2 month update, something like that, of my 2008 Ford F-150 Lariat with the 5.4 3-valve Triton engine. I apologize if the camera is like shaking. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. My phone is messing up, so hopefully this actually comes out well. If not, I apologize. Anyway, so for the past couple months, haven't done really anything with this thing, modifications wise. I really like the way that it's been set up so far. It works pretty well for what I need. The only thing that I have done would be one major repair and then one kind of like modification. So the modification side, I got WeatherTech floor mats in the front, which have been freaking awesome. I planned on having that be the first modification of the truck since I bought it, and it's been really worth it. I love it. Other thing that I have done to this thing since that last video was I replaced the passenger side exhaust manifold. I'm not sure you can see. Yeah, you can see it right there. So there's one of the new studs, and you can see the non-rusty exhaust manifold. And let me tell you, that was a pain in the ass, a royal pain in the ass. So when I bought this thing, I don't know what, I didn't hear the exhaust leak whenever I first bought it, and then like 2 days after, I was like, yeah, there's definitely, the exhaust manifolds are definitely cracked, at least on the passenger side. So I called the guy that I bought it off of, or the dealership, and they're like, yeah, well, since you bought it, as is, no warranty, we'll charge you $650 to get it fixed. And in my head, I thought that was too much because I'd already priced out, a new part, and I'd watched a couple videos on how to replace it, and I thought, okay, well, this can't be that awful, and it definitely was that awful. I got a buddy or a couple friends, and they have a car lift in their garage, so I drove this thing over to them, and it took me, I worked on it for 2 days trying to get it out. So in the Ford book, they say that you have to lift the engine, unbolt the engine mounts on the passenger side and lift the whole thing up in order for the exhaust manifold to clear, since Ford, the Ford engineers were geniuses and didn't give enough clearance between the frame rail, the downpipe, and the engine for the whole thing to come out. So I spent 2 days. I bought a bunch of tools to help me get it out of there, and I ended up not being able to get it out. I pulled the starter, all that good stuff, and there just wasn't enough room to wiggle that piece of crap out of there. So I ended up having to tow it to a shop for $80 and paying the shop $650. So in hindsight, I should have taken that, the price that the dealership gave me in a heartbeat, because it ended up costing me like $300 more to do it myself. And I didn't have a truck for 2 days, or more like 4. So yeah, not very smart on my end, but my exhaust manifold's not cracked anymore, and hopefully it doesn't happen again in, the few years I'm going to own this thing before I buy another one, or a newer one. So other than that, this thing hasn't really had any problems. I need to put front brakes on it, and on, at least on the passenger side and the driver's side, you can kind of see some you can see some brake dust forming. So I'm probably just going to order a whole brake kit. They sell a brake kit on Rock Auto for like $300, and you get rotors, pads, slides, and calipers for like $300, and they're pretty good reviews. So I might take a chance on that. This side's real bad. For a while, whenever I hit the brakes, you can kind of feel the wheels shaking and the whole car shaking. It still does that sometimes, but it's not as bad now. So I think I have a rotor that's out of round, or maybe a little bit warped. But let's see. And what's the other problem? Oh, the fuel gauge kind of, when I fill it up, it'll say full, and then it'll take a while to get to the first, quarter, and then from about half a tank down, it just fluctuates. So, and then it says I'm getting 10 miles a gallon, so that could be from the cam phasers being bad, which they are. They're not terrible yet. I'm still kind of on the fence about what I want to do about that. They sell lockout kits from, if you get the really nice legit ones, it's like $700, and you get a tuner for it, so it clears the code and allows it to run. But then, you lose some power, and there's some stuff there. And then if I want to go ahead and just replace them with the OEM cam phasers, that whole kit, I'd have to replace the cam phasers, the timing chains, the tensioners, and the oil pump. And that's like $1,100 just in parts. And that's going to be a huge ordeal to fix that. So, my train of thought is, well, if I go for the delete kit to just lock up the cam phaser, I'm gonna have to take all that apart anyway. So, and this truck probably needs a timing chain because it has about 216,000 miles on it. So while I'm in there, I might as well do the timing chain. But if I'm gonna do the timing chain, I might as well just replace everything, because it's gonna be about the same price either way. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do about that. I know the cam phasers, them being bad isn't like detrimental to the engine, but I'm definitely losing some fuel economy. And it doesn't sound very good, but I don't know. That's definitely gonna be something I need to address within the next year. But I mean, the truck runs fine. It's got, really no problems with it. So overall, I've been super happy with this purchase. If I can get a few years out of it before I move on to the next one, that's great, because my next truck, I want to be a diesel. I want to get a 6.7. So anyway, so by the time this is uploaded, I'm gonna be flying back to Texas for the 4th of July, and I'm gonna do a pretty big update on all the stuff I have down there. I had to move all of my projects, like my trailer, the mud mower, and I have an ATV down there. So I'm gonna kind of do a walk around and do some work on that stuff to make sure it's good to sit for at least another 6 months until I can get a place up here or wherever I'm moving to after this that has a garage that I can work on stuff. So anyway, please like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Thanks, and gig 'em.